Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Grayze Dynamics. Your boy Ray here with another review for you. Something special, something unique, something maybe one of a kind. I get the opportunity to share with you a wheel that I have found to be absolutely excellent. Before I get to that, I want to say thank you guys for watching, for viewing, for subscribing, for being members. All of you, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to Manny at VPG for sending this to me. He entrusted me with something that is beautiful, pricey, and expensive, but absolutely amazing. This, my good friends, this is not an inspired by wheel. This is not a sim racing wheel that's a replica of. This is actually a wheel that I've come to find out that is using the exact same molds and techniques and material as the real GT3 wheel. It's officially licensed by Ford itself. So again, you've got that. You can reach out to VPG and check for yourself, or you can come to Indianapolis at PRI, and both Manny and myself will be there. I can't wait to feel this wheel and next to the actual GT3 wheel out of the real car, because I have a feeling it's going to feel exactly identical. With that being said, let's take a look at the wheel. This again is the Mustang GT3. There's nothing more American than a Mustang. There's nothing more American and vroom vroom than getting in a GT3 race car. Many of us will never experience that, but I think this wheel will give you a bit of that. So let's go ahead and open up the box. Now the box, I'm not gonna lie, takes a little bit to get the wheel out of, and I think the guys at VPG did this on purpose to make you have to do stuff like this. It's just to build up the anticipation of opening the box and seeing the actual wheel up front. But let's get it open. The struggle is almost over. Trust me, it'll be well worth it. Let's take this beautiful piece of foam off the top. Let's turn it around for you to see, and there you go. There, you guys, is the Mustang GT3 from VPG. It is an exact same that you would get in the real car. It's freaking cool. First and foremost, you get this beautiful box with the power cord and stickers that come in it. I'm gonna have to say, just right off the rip, Manny, if you can fix it. Trying to get this open, like this is the hardest box I've ever had to open in my life. It tore just a little. Hopefully you replace it for the lucky person who gets this wheel. Or if you keep it as a sample, I apologize for that. But let's take the wheel out of the beautiful packaging, and oh my God. The first thing I noticed when I took this wheel out, one, is it's incredibly light. This is a full carbon fiber shell. Now, mind you, this wheel is going to cost you over $2,000 to purchase. And again, this is not a replica. This is the actual thing that you're getting out of the actual car with the molds, the techniques, the material, all of it. So this is extremely, extremely light. It's 1,100 grams. The QR on the back is extremely light itself. This comes separate. It's about $60 for this as well. But again, you can run your own QR that you'd want on it or spacer, but you will have to have a 50 to 70 millimeter or 50 to whatever type of QR that you use. So again, it's absolutely awesome. It is extremely light. The silicone grips here feel really good. It's got 3 buttons here as well as 2 down here. It's got 3 encoders here, which is really cool. On the back, it's got 2 push buttons up top, as well as clutches are on the top, which I did not know, but when I looked it up, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Clutches feel really good, and it's got these massive, massive shifters down here. Again, they feel really good. Here's how they sound. Clutches obviously feel really good behind the fingers. And like I said, this is extremely light. And I say it's one of the lightest wheels I've ever used. Now granted, I've had some 3D printed wheels that were pretty light, But you have to look again at the sheer size of this. And yes, it does have funky knobs for us sim racers because again, these are absolutely necessary. As well as these are RGB backlit with 4 LEDs behind each. And the way it's diffused, it has this really cool pattern. But again, very, 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 very lightweight. A wheel of this size, 309 mil from end to end, typically they're quite heavy. If you've held any of the other sim racing wheels, as you get up to 300 and beyond, they're quite heavy. They decided to go again for the actual size of the wheel, not take any punches and make it smaller, just make it exactly identical to the real thing. I appreciate that they did that, and I think that was a smart idea. The grips, as you can see here, they're decent size. They're not too small. They're not too large. They're actually really good. I have medium to small hands, so these fit in it quite nicely. There's no bending. There's no creaking. This is incredibly sturdy. And I have to say, again, what you'll be blown away with is just how light this wheel. I'm telling you, this wheel is extremely light compared to some wheels that are at the exact price range or a little less or a little more that are almost double the weight of this. So this is extremely light. Some cool features on it, in addition to these here being regular encoders, this is actually a linked encoder. So if you turn it in any one position outside of its norm, it changes the point of view here, which we'll go over. But again, this is really nice. How about we get this bolted to the rig, do a little bit of driving, talk about its features, and of course get to our conclusion.
All right, guys, so let's take a quick look here and let's calibrate the clutches. Really easy to do on the wheel. It comes in their manual, but I'll just run through it really quickly. What you're going to do is there's a top left button on the back, as we talked about. You'll hold it, you'll see it flashing. What will happen is these two buttons will flash and turn on. Once these are on, all you're going to do is pull the clutch on the right. What you'll see is it goes to 34%. And again, in order to change that, these two buttons here are going to be what you use to control it. So if I simply tap this button here, it's going to go down. If I tap this button here, it's going to go up. And the reason why that matters is, depending on how you set up your clutch, well, I have my master and slave. So I like to set mine to 65-35, but it's operated in the opposite direction. So if I release this, it's going to go to 65, and then I slowly release here. If I pull this clutch, it goes to 35%. If I want it to be inverted, then I would raise this number up again, hold it in. I would raise this or lower this number here, or raise it up. So if I wanted it to be 50-50, I go to 50%. Now I'm good there. And then I would simply hit done. And again, hold the master. We're going to go back down to 35%. Really easy, really simple to do. I can go ahead and hold that settings button yet again. And now it's now calibrated. It is. Once we've made the setting, see, now it goes back to what I had it set as because I did not save it. Once you get to a setting you want to save, you simply hit these two buttons here. They turn green. Now you're done and you can exit calibration. And anytime you want to recalibrate it, you unplug the wheel, plug it back in to redo that calibration. But remember, anything you set, make sure that you save. Okay, so that's a pretty simple and easy way of calibrating the clutch. I'm going to exit the wizard because I don't want to make any changes there. The other thing that you get the option to do, and what we will do is we will show you it on SimHub, because I think SimHub is probably the best way of viewing this demo. So what we'll go into is we'll look at controllers. We're going to go ahead and show inputs. So if we look, I am moving the funky knob. Okay, I'm rotating it left and right. Now I have mapped it to my controller, but it will tell you what button it is as I rotate it and move it. Okay, same with the right funky. Okay, if you move this bottom multi-encoder in any position other than 0, the AC, E-Pass, alternate, or any of the other options you get here, it changes this point of view to now, as you can see, it's hat left, hat right, and the button changes. And that's for both funky knobs. So it changes how it operates depending on what I turn it to. And as you can see, I have mapped this in SimHub as a button mapper, but you won't see it the same way because these are linked to this encoder here. So you essentially get 4 point of views, and you get both encoders rotating right and left. You get an additional encoder for each. So that's pretty cool. Again, it gives you the ability to have extra features and buttons that you traditionally would not get on this type of wheel. And again, I think that's a great feature.
All right, guys, let's wrap up this awesome wheel by saying just go out and buy it. I mean, if you want an authentic wheel that is using authentic parts, I have the notes here because I want to say it verbatim. It is crafted using the exact same molds, materials, and techniques as the championship-winning GT3 race car, the real race car. Not like the fake one, not like the one that you put together with your Lego. This is not a replica. This is made using the exact same molds. I mean, it's got, again, it's got your 2 push buttons in the back. It's got, you know, the carbon fiber shell. It's got the really soft, amazing grips. I mean, it just feels good in hand. And yes, it's about, you know, it's an expensive wheel. It's a little over $2,000. And that doesn't include when you add the additional spacer, which is another $60. And again, you don't have to use that spacer, as we'll take a look at here. I'm using a different one because the depth or the length of that spacer is a little too big for my rig. So I have one here from Delta SimTech. But ergonomically, I mean, I'm looking at the ergonomic section. I'm looking at how lightweight it is, the customizations with the RGB, and again, things for sim racers, but you get that again on a wheel that's using the exact same techniques as the real wheel. So if you're a Mustang GT3 fan and I just say, wow, this wheel is absolutely amazing. I guess my only nitpick of the wheel, I had to really comb over. All right, let's nitpick. I mean, I have 2 things I'm gonna nitpick. One, I can't afford it. I don't have the money, and I wish I could. Thanks to Manny for sending this over. Man, I wish I could afford it. 2, the only nitpick I really have is the button shrouds kind of wiggle. So for those of you who want perfection in a wheel you spend $2,000 for, you might not like it. I don't think it really matters at this point. Again, if this is using the exact same molds, I guarantee you, if you were to go look at the actual Mustang GT3 wheel, which I will at PRI, Manny will be there from VPG as well. So please come on out to VPG, see myself, see Manny, and a whole bunch of other people, and you'll get to feel the actual Mustang wheel. I'm guarantee you it's going to have some wiggles because I think we have this unrealistic expectation in sim racing. That's not the reality. But with that being said, if you have one nitpick that you have to find, because nothing can be 100% perfect to me, it's just that the buttons wiggle a little bit in its housing. But to be honest, they feel good underhand. The back buttons feel really good. When you turn it around, I mean, it's got the shifters here with the clutches at the top, which feel really, really good. They have great resistance to it. As you guys know, I reviewed a wheel here recently that was just flimsy. These have really good resistance as you pull it closer to you. The settings is really easy on the wheel. You can calibrate it in seconds. It's not something that will take up a ton of your time. But again, I have to say, not having reviewed any of the other VPG wheels, this is utterly amazing. They've done everything you can do to make a wheel as exact as the actual wheel in game and in real life. So to me, this is nothing short of excellent. If you're looking for a Mustang GT3 wheel, especially if you're in the US where we see Mustang GT3s all the time driving on the road, if you want that wheel to match this, that's in the race winning wheel, then this is the wheel for you. Now you can use it for anything else. I've driven it with a bunch of other cars, whether it be hypercars or other GT3s, because I suck at driving the Mustang GT3. I would definitely recommend this wheel. So again, if you appreciate this review, the content, who I am, check out VPG. Again, I love supporting companies and I love people who do and really admire their craft and their work. Check out VPG. They make some of the coolest, most unique wheels, but now they've got this one in their repertoire, and I think it's an amazing wheel. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy me, if you're looking forward to some new things happening here at Grayze Dynamics, go ahead and thumbs up, notifications on, and subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Peace.